Morning to one and all present here. Today, I, Diksha Kriyadas from MSW department, would like to talk about community organization on the topic, the concept of dimensions of power with regard to community. Now, community or in this topic, community organization, here there will be introduction, key aspects of community organization, how it works, dimensions of power, examples of dimensions of power, reference, and conclusion. Let's get started. So, community organization in social work is a method which is used to empower communities to address their own needs and problems. It facilitates collective action and participatory process to achieve sustainable social change. Here, the community organization plays a major role since it helps the people to make their own decisions and to make their own decisions regarding their problems currently happening or facing in their community. So it gives empowerment to the people in a community. Now, how power helps in this? Understanding the dynamics of power is essential in this process as power influences relationship and decision making within communities and impacts the success of community development initiatives. Here, understanding the power is very essential for a process to happen with the relationship and how it affects being a powerful person can affect the relationship and the decision making within a community. So power plays a major role in a community in order to achieve sustainable development goals. Power to influence behavior, shape decision, and control resources can manifest in various ways, impacting marginalized communities. Then, after that, some of the key aspects of community organization are it focuses on collective rather than in a single individual oriented. It main focus is on collective achievement of goal rather than only focusing on individual. Secondly, empowerment and capacity building. It aims to strengthen communities' abilities to identify and address their own issues. They uplift the community members to solve their own problem. Number three, dual focus. It works both achieving specific goals, example providing a service, and building a strong, sustainable organization base within the community. Fourth is influencing social policy. A key aspect is enabling communities to advocate for change in policies that affect their life. Here, they help the community people to address their own problem in a community whichever they are facing. Number three, slides, then how it works. In the fifth slide, we will be talking about how it works. So it's a methodological process to empower communities. We already know that. And here, there are first stage is community study and investigation. Here it involves exploring the social, political, economic, any structure of a community and identifying the resources, pinpointing whether where is the problem exactly occurring from and discerning the forces that shape community life. Number two is issue identification and analysis. Since we have already studied the community and its resources available and what the problem from where it's occurring, the second thing is to identify the problem and analyze based on their importance, urgency, and number of people affected by that problem. Third is core group formation. Local leaders play a very vital role in this step for mobilizing community members and establishing a strong organizational foundation, training, and preparation for action. Community here, these leaders are trained to communicate effectively and deal with authorities or challenges. The leaders are expected to work efficiently in addressing these problems faced by the community. Then the main thing how it starts is action, evaluation and reflection, formalization of community based organization, phase out. In action, it involves the implementation of the chosen strategies, which range from dialogue and advocacy to organized protest or other forms of collective actions to address community needs. Evaluation and reflection here, it assesses the effectiveness of the undertaken action and identifying strength and weakness. The steps which was chosen to be to solve or address the issues. Here it evaluates its effectiveness, whether they are efficiently working to mm, address the conflict or the problem facing by the community. It's for identifying the weakness and strength of the evaluative action. Third, this is the evaluation and reflection. Third is formalization of community-based organization. It involves establishing organization with a base of participation from democratic leadership. Then fourth is phase out. The community organizer gradually withdraws their direct involvement as it helps them to become mature, self-reliant, and capable of handling its own issues. So in short, it starts with dependency and ends with independence. The leaders are there to look out for the resources, the problems, and address all these issues. And then it gives the community members the power to solve their own issues at the end. They become independent and rather than being dependent. Then the dimensions of power. This slide introduces us to power, which means the ability to influence others to make decisions. In social work, understanding power help us see why some groups are marginalized. Now, here, Stephen Lewis explained three dimensions of power. One dimensional power, which is the decision making process. Visible power, where decisions are made openly, we can see conflicts, debates, or negotiation in this phase. Second, two dimensional, which is agenda setting power. Here, it highlights controlling the agenda, such as the uh, scope of what is debated in public forums, which can be achieved through manipulation or by strategically framing discussions to exclude certain topics. So, hidden power, where some issues are kept out of discussion intentionally. Then, third is three-dimensional power, which is preference shaping power. So, it sheds light on the ideological and cultural influences that shape perception and create a sense of natural compliance with existing power structure. That is, this is the invisible power where people's beliefs and values are shaped so that they can accept things as normal. So these dimensions have direct implication for social work practice, and the workers can use this to identify power imbalances, challenges, then empower clients and analyze social problems. Then here's a short example of the power dimension of power structure, which was the farmers protest and demand for MSP, which is the minimum support price. The event occurred in November 2021. Government of India repealed the three farm laws after year-long protest. The three farm laws where the farmer produced trade and commerce uh, then act which was in 2020. Then number two was the farmers empowerment and protection argument on price assurance and farmer service act, which was also in 2020. Then number third was the essential commodities amendment act, which was on 2020. Here, in this example, the hidden power is the government promoted benefits of reforms while avoiding debate on corporate control and food security. Second, invisible power, farmers use collective solidarity, social media, and persistence to resist turning power over into power greed. Outcome is that historic repeal of laws in November 2021, showing community strength in challenging power. So the visible power here is that the government passed the tree farm laws without proper consultation with farmer. Decision making process was open and visible. Everyone knew about it. Laws were being made in parliament. This is the first for one-dimensional power. Second is hidden power, which is the agenda setting. Here, government control what issues were discussed, highlighting the reforms and modernization, but avoiding farmers' fears about MSP and corporate control. Though the farmers' demand for a legal MSP guarantee, which was kept out of the policy discussion, which is this hidden power. Third is the invisible power. Third, the three-dimensional, which is the preference shaping power. The public narrative was shaped to make people believe that the new farm laws would automatically benefit everyone. But though unity, protests, awareness, farmers challenged that narrative. They made others see the real issue. Farmers were successful in the end, and the law was, uh, in short, uh, in short, the law that was there. In short, the three laws were repealed. Then, conclusion: the concept of dimension of power is crucial to understand and practice community organization. As explained by Luke, power operates not only in its visible form of decision making, but also in the hidden form of controlling agendas and the invisible form of shaping beliefs and perception. These are often faced exclusion and empowerment across these dimensions, which restrict their participation in decision affecting their lives. However, the study of power dimension shows that community organization is not merely about service delivery, it is about empowerment. It is about participation. It is about social transformation. Recognizing and addressing these dimensions is therefore essential for creating inclusive and sustainable change. To conclude, understanding the dimensions of power is very important in community organization. Power doesn't only exist in decision making, but also in hidden control and invisible influence over beliefs. Thank you so much.